Welcome to the Offshore Club's fun-filled, fact-filled, fast-paced blockbuster podcast, Coffee with Carib Carter, coming to you exclusively from where the sun never sets on the good life at a great price. And now, fill up your favorite coffee mug and join your expert and your guide, Carib Carter Clues.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Carib Carter Clues, and welcome to, let me get my cup here. There we go. Coffee with Carib Carter. Yeah. Episode 80. 80. That's a long time. It's a long time, but a lot of fun. And today's show is going to be no different. It's going to be kind of a rapid fire podcast today, okay? Because in the immortal words of Jerry Reed, who I loved, I thought the guy was very funny, great. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, okay? So let's get eastbound and down. I guess in our case, it would be, let's get southbound, since we're going south of the border, and get down on that. And we're going to do it in a bunch of ways today. Okay, we're going to do it in a bunch of ways today. But before I even do that, okay, let me keep things in order. Before I do that, I want to remind you, contact me. Let's talk, okay? You can email me, caribcarter7, the number 7, there it is right there, at gmail.com. Okay, email me. I answer all my emails. It's great to hear from you, and I'm honored and I'm privileged to hear from you. So drop me a note about whatever's on your mind. Call me on my cell phone. Absolutely, that's my personal cell phone number, and I'm happy to talk with you. I'm pleased to talk with you. Again, let me know what's on your mind, questions, comments, whatever, or text me at that same number. Okay. Any way you do it, I'm going to be responding. All right. I'm going to be responding to you. Let's get a dialogue going. Let's get to know each other. All right. Let's get to know each other, because remember, the Offshore Club is for and about you. So the more I hear from you about what you're interested in, offshore, all topics offshore, whatever's on your mind, the more we can make the Offshore Club what it needs to be to serve your needs, and the better we can make our time together having coffee with Carib Carter. Okay, so let me hear from you today. As I mentioned, kind of rapid fire. I have a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of a Mad Max. Those of you who are regular viewers know Mad Max is when I'm not too happy about the way things are, and we go into it. I go into it with you. I base it all on almost 50 years working at the highest levels in Washington, because it's what they do there that makes this Max mad, okay? And I know it does you all too. I know more and more you're fed up with it. We'll get into it in just a minute, okay? So, it's this segment of the show today is going to be a little bit of raw truth, but then good news. Because I hate negatives. So that's why I don't do Mad Max all the time. Just occasionally when I feel like, look, you owe it to people to let them know what's going on. So we're going to do that. $1,000 listing Caribbean. We are going to Ecuador. And we're going to a place that I swear to goodness, until I started doing my research for today's podcast, I didn't even know existed. Okay. I didn't even know existed. It's called Puerto Lopez, Ecuador. Okay. Puerto Lopez. You ever have an experience? Let me ask you this. You ever have an experience where you didn't know something was even there? You didn't even know it existed, and you found out about it, and it turned out to be incredible? Well, that's what happened when I found this beautiful home for bargain price always, in Ecuador for $1,000 listing Caribbean. And then in some place called Puerto Lopez, and I started researching Puerto Lopez, and oh my gosh, unbelievable. I mean, talk about the good life at a great price. You know, our slogan of the Offshore Club. Where do you see this? All right. Then I have a motivational minute for you. Carib Carter motivation in a minute. That it, you know, it's something that I guess I read it. It's a video, but I read the quote in the video almost daily. And when we get to it, I think you're going to see why. Okay, because if you're one of those that's talking about, then it's going to spur you on to cut loose and live large. All right. So we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. In just a few minutes. But first, let's go to the Mad Max a little bit. Okay. I'll tell you, it was prompted by several things. One, I came across some Gallup polls about where Americans are today. Okay. I think you're going to see yourself reflected in this. All right. I'm going to look at my clock. I'm only going to allow myself 10 minutes for this, okay? The clock is ticking right there. I'm going to allow myself 10 minutes because I don't want to get hung up on it. And I got to be honest with you. It bothers me so much that I can get hung up on it, okay? I devoted my life to helping Americans live a better life. And what's happening today, it just makes me, it just fries me sometimes. It makes me mad, okay? So I'm doing some research, and I said, well, what does Gallup have to say about how Americans feel about what's being done to them now? Holy mackerel, folks. Come on. Look at this. Recent Gallup poll. This is all brand new stuff, folks. Poor life ratings reach a record high. They asked people, how do you feel about the quality of your life right now? The percentage, I'm going to read it to you. Look at the graph again. Higher than ever in history. Poor life rating, that people are living a poor life. The scallop. The percentage of Americans who evaluate their lives poorly enough to be considered suffering, not just, oh, things aren't too polyet. No, suffering, consider themselves suffering, was 5.6 in July, the highest level since the inception of the index in 2008. Suffering in America, and they're really suffering. You know, perhaps some of you may be among those who are suffering and who would be in that up at that 5.6 level. Isn't that terrible? There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for people suffering. Good, hardworking, middle-class Americans in their daily lives. There's no excuse for it. But when you got double-digit inflation, the government lies, says it's 8.75%, or as Joe Biden says, 0% inflation. The hell does somebody come up with something like that? It's a lie. The government says it's 8.5. That's a lie. According to Shadow Stats, which you always ought to look up, shadowstats.com, John Williams, it's about 17 to 18%. You know it. You shop. You see what's there. That's what's causing this. One of the things causing the suffering, okay? We're going to get into more of what's causing the suffering. Economic confidence among the American people. I circled in red there. Look at that. It has plummeted. People in America used to be the most confident country in the world. We were Norman Rockwell's America. We had that daring do, that sense of the inevitability of our own success. That's the confidence in America's economy now, according to Gallup. Look at that. No confidence. And you know what? Rightly so, because it's going to get worse. JP Morgan and Bank of America both said a severe recession is coming. Worse than a recession, they said. Severe, almost depression coming. Matter of fact, we're in a recession, according to the definition of a recession: 2 quarters of declining of negative GDP in 2 quarters in a row. Except then the government came out and said, "Oh, we no longer define it that way." Well, when the hell did that happen? Well, it happened when we entered this recession, so they redefined it. Well, that doesn't stop the reality, does it? All right, one more Gallup poll. Then I'm going to tell you why I think we have all this and why it's so important. Let me put it in perspective. I'm saying all of this because I think a lot of you feel this way. And it's time for you to say, how much longer am I going to put up with this when you do not have to live like this? You can move to, as I said earlier, the good life at a great price south of the border. Yeah, in the sun, sand, and surf, where they still have confidence down there because they're living well, okay, without all the political divisiveness, the hatred that's being spread, the crime, and the works. So confidence in U.S. institutions, okay? Wait till you hear this one now, okay? An average new low. Americans are less confident in the institutions in this country. I'm talking the medical system, churches, public schools, banks, the Supreme Court, the presidency, television news, Congress, less confident than ever before in history, than ever before since Gallup started measuring American people's confidence in our institutions. Okay, one of the only categories where people are more confident than they were a year ago, okay, is small business. Small business. And according to another survey, 30% of those say they probably will have to close by the end of this year, the beginning of next year. 50% of American businesses overall say they're going to have massive layoffs. That's where we are. That's why the confidence is so low. Confidence in Congress. I want you to look at this. Can you see it? Can you see the confidence in Congress? Okay. It is at 7%. American people have confidence in our Congress. In our Congress. Folks, I'm not making this up. That is a lower percentage of Americans than have confidence that Bigfoot really exists. Now you may say, Carter, I'm not. Honest to God, that is true. That is true. 11% of Americans think Bigfoot actually exists. 7% of Americans are now confident in our Congress. And you know what? I got 4 minutes. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. Because our institutions, the presidency, Congress, the media don't deserve the confidence because they have destroyed the American dream. Here is the velocity of money. When they tell you Biden, the economy is stronger than it's ever been. No, folks, velocity of money is everything. Look at where the velocity of money is there. See the plummet? See the plummet where my finger is right there? That's what people are spending. People, what does that tell you? People are scared to death to spend any money because they know everything is collapsing around them, okay? And frankly, you should be too. Be very careful. Be very careful about spending your money, okay? Because things are not good. They're getting worse. Keep that money because you're going to need it. It might keep it or spend it to get offshore. If you move to Central or South of America, every dollar you have will go 3 to 4 times as far, okay? You can buy a gorgeous home. Remember Carib Carter's 10% factor? For 10% of what you can in the U.S., okay? 10%. You know, what do I mean by that? Well, let me show you. Here is a home that you can buy for just over 200,000 in Grand Pacifica. Gorgeous residential resort community in Nicaragua, Mike Cobb community. Okay, check it out, Grand Pacifica. Thank you, Gary. There you go. Just over 200,000. Or you can let me see, what do we got here? How about if you decide, no, I want to continue to live in the U.S. Well, here we go. Here we go. I can get you this beautiful home here for $125 in Baltimore. $125,000. Oh, by the way, I know that neighborhood. You can't walk out the door. You can't walk out the door. You can't walk out the door. Okay. Or maybe, for half the price. For half the price. Here's one for about the same price as the one I just showed you. Okay. There you go. $199,000 for that. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. By the way, see the little signs in the window? It's condemned. So there you have a choice. Which one are you going to go for? What are you going to go for? Where are you going to spend your money? At the Grand Pacifica for that gorgeous ocean view home, okay, in a perfect residential resort community with all the amenities, okay? Here it is again. Let me get it for you. Or that slum I just showed you, that the U.S. has now spawned. You think there's a reason confidence in our institutions is down to an all-time low? Look around you. Look around you. Here's a lovely article. Here, I got a minute or so left. Crime in America's major cities now, all of them. The death rate per 100,000 is more than the Ukraine. What? Yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. So and how concerned is Congress? Well, they pass a bogus bill like the Inflation Reduction Act. Inflation Reduction Act. Oh, well, the Inflation Reduction Act actually, according to the University of Chicago School of Economics, is going to actually reduce the GMP by 1.2% and reduce your household income by about $1,200. Okay, so it's going to once again cause more inflation, more inflation. You can't spend $500 billion you don't have the way the government is and expect inflation to go down. Every dollar they spend reduces the value of the dollar in your pocket. Always keep that in mind. And how about the tax increases because of it? It has new taxes, 87,000 armed new IRS agents to collect them at a cost of $80 billion. Again, spending money not there reduces the dollars in your pocket even more. Look at yourself there. Maybe you're there at the 40 to 50 middle income level. Your taxes are going to, it's going to hit 61.7% of those earning that much. You're going to see a tax increase. The politician said, oh, no, it's only going to hit those making more than $400,000. That was a lie. That was a lie. How do you know it's a lie? I'm going over time. Bear with me, please, just for a minute. How do you know that was a lie? Because the Republicans introduced an amendment to the bill, locking that in to make it so it had to be the truth, and it was defeated. So, it doesn't stop with these people. That's why they're down there at 7%, less than Bigfoot. People have more confidence that Bigfoot exists than they do that Congress is going to do the right thing. Okay, so that's where we are. That's where we are. I had to share that with you. It's important that you know this because it's not getting better, as the Gallup polls are showing. People understand it's getting worse because the folks who are doing it to you, this is it. I'm stopping after this. I'm stopping. I promise I'm stopping after this. They don't care. You can say, Carter, how can you say that? I'm sure they suffer the same inflation and the horrible taxes that the rest of us do. Not really. The average income, this is from opensecrets.com. Check it out. Check the income of members of the Senate and House. The average net worth of a member of the U.S. Senate and House is $7 million. That's their average net worth. How does that compare with what you have in the bank? They don't care. It doesn't. Whatever they do that destroys your personal economy doesn't affect theirs, especially not someone like Virginia's Mark Warner. He's worth $214 million. Do you think he really gives a damn, a rat's butt, about what inflation does to you when it hits double digits? What unemployment does to you when you can't get a job and pay your bills? I don't think so. 1 in every 6 Americans now is behind on their rent or house payment. You think a guy making $214 million cares about that? I don't think so. Oh, but I'll bet you Mitt Romney does. No, because his net worth is $174 million. But Nancy's there for us. Nancy Pelosi, the woman who tells us I only eat designer ice cream. Her net worth is $114 million. Folks, come on. They don't care. That's why the confidence is that low. That's why it's time for you. Okay. I went 4 minutes over. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. I'm concerned about you. Okay. I have my plan B escape route in place. I have 2 homes in Honduras, one in a gorgeous community, El Calan, little community, very friendly. Another, a beach home at La Ceiba Beach Club. Okay. I pay each one of those homes in the U.S. would sell for, well, the El Calan home would probably sell for about $300,000. The beach home, the front yard is the beach. Okay. My front yard is the beach. Backyard is a swimming pool. Okay. Probably sell for 500,000 up here, maybe six. And the location, locale it is, the structure of the home. Both those homes cost a little over 30,000. That's how good it is. Carib Carter's 10% rule. Never forget it, folks. If your annual income is $2,000 a month, residual income working remotely, imagine going 3 to 4, maybe 5 times in some countries as far. You're going to live pretty well. You're going to live pretty well and not have to put up with all that I just told you about, okay? And you shouldn't have to put up with it. You've worked too hard. You've been too good a person. You shouldn't have to put up with that. If they're going to kill the American dream, don't let that become your nightmare. As Billy Joel sang in a song, we didn't start the fire, okay? But we are going to escape the flames. That's why it's what the offshore club's all about, okay? All right. I went a little overtime on that, but I just didn't get it out of my system. It's important for you to know. It's important. Please, it is. I beg of you. It's important for you to know for yourself and for those you love, for your kids, your grandkids. Give them a plan B escape route, okay? Because it's right there waiting for you. But, it's not going to last forever. The prices will go up because we're creating a newer world down there, a newer, more wonderful world with a lot of what used to be up here, you're going to have with you down there, okay? The quality of life, the quality, high cost, top quality. It's there. For example, today's $1,000 listing, Caribbean. I love this. As I said, it was a shocker to me, because I didn't even know the place even existed, okay? I did not know the place even existed that we're going to be talking about. And when I discovered it, it was like one of those things like, in the old movies, the old love story movies, Cary Grant type movies, where they say, "Where have you been all my life?" Well, that was how I felt when I found this. So let's go for that $1,000 listing, Caribbean. Here we go. Vivian. You know how much I love Vivian. Okay. Vivian.com. There's the number. Remember how Vivian works? You go there. There's a little box up in the corner. When you go to Vivian.com, type in that number. And it's going to take you straight to this listing. Pretty incredible. Before I show you the home, before I show you outside, inside, I always like to take the long view, because some of us, you'd be stunned how many people, and I say my wife's from Honduras, how many people say, is that in Africa? No, it's in Central America. Well, Ecuador is in South America. Okay, so let's look. Here we go. Let's look at our map. Okay, let's look at our map. Ecuador. Let me put my finger on it right there. A little blue country, right on the Pacific Ocean. See it there? Little blue country right on the Pacific Ocean. All right, there's Peru below it. There's Ecuador. All right. Beautiful country. Ecuador. And where we're going to go specifically is Puerto Lopez. There you go. There's Ecuador again, the little blue country on the Pacific Ocean. Okay, you see Peru around it there. And there is Puerto Lopez. Okay. All right. So what about the home there at Puerto Lopez? Okay. What about the home? First, take it, I'm going to do another little long view before I show you the home here. Here's Puerto Lopez. Okay, kind of the long view there. All right. Right on the ocean, folks. Folks, this place is gorgeous. I'm telling you, it's gorgeous. I'm going to show you more pictures in a second. Let me show you the home here. Here you go. This is 2 bath, 2 bedroom. Has been until lately a B&B, so it has a reputation. People are going to want to come back. They'll rent it from you if that's what you want to do as a cash flow investment. Positioned on a large corner lot in a safe neighborhood. Back garden is home to birds and butterflies. Bottom of the garden has space in case you want to build a guest home. Panoramic views of the mountains and the ocean. That's incredible. Everything within a walking distance. Banking, grocery stores, farmers market, fisherman's market. I'm going to show you a picture of that in a second. Great restaurants, nightlife, medical, dental practices, and the beach. Okay. Less than 10 years old, American style construction. This is a beautiful home, folks. There you go. There you go. Isn't that nice? That's the front entrance. Okay. That's the front entrance. All right. Then we go to the guest private entrance. Okay. You want to have friends come down and visit? Maybe it's just 2 bedrooms, so there's plenty of room. 2 bedroom, 2 bath. They have their own separate entrance. I just love it. I love it. Look at the view. Look at the view from the front yard. Let me ask you something. Do you have the view from your front yard like that? Well, picture yourself here. Okay. By the way, the temperature is like 80 degrees or so, pretty much all year round. So it's very, very nice. Warm. I love 80-degree temperature. Warm, but not too hot. Let's go inside. Okay. I'm just going to show you these one after another. This is the living room, dining room area. Okay. Living room, dining room area. Another reverse shot, living room, dining room area. Folks, this is idyllic living. Again, picture yourself there. Picture yourself there. I know a lot of people like kitchens. A lot of people like to cook. Men and women. Men and women. I want to be sexist. Look at that. Look at the window above the kitchen sink. Folks, look at mahogany here. This is beautifully done. And by the way, comes totally furnished. Everything you're seeing in these pictures stays. You're not going to buy anything. Yeah, that's a great deal. Bedroom. Okay, there's a bedroom. There's a bedroom. What nice. Imagine the breeze blowing in. Picture yourself relaxing there in the morning with the morning breeze blowing in. There you go. There you go. I mean, that's a gorgeous home. The price, $118,000. I think it would probably, cost you a home like that on the beach in a resort community, gorgeous resort community, a home well built. Just a retaining wall, everything about it. The air conditioning, you see the split duct units there. 5 times as much easily, 6, 7, 8. Some locations, 10 times as much in the U.S. 118,000. You can't lose on that. Plus, you can rent it out as B&B for cash flow. That's a good investment. Plus, it's a great vacation home for you. Second home. Or a place to move to with your plan B escape route from all that stuff I just showed you a second ago. All right. It's a good deal, but I want to point something out to you. Remember, when you buy in Central or South America, you're not just buying the home and the indoors, you're buying the great outdoors. Okay. So let me show you some pictures here. Okay. Because it really is, you're buying the environment. That 80 degrees is all year round. That's not okay, Carter. Now that's in the summer and spring, but boy, when it gets cold down there, you're not going to be walking around the beach. Yes, you are, because it doesn't get cold. Okay. I know. I lived in Honduras. In Honduras, it gets hot sometimes, but it doesn't get cold. So you're living outdoors. You live outdoors. Okay. You just do. Why wouldn't you? All year round. So there you go. Let me show you this. Remember? Puerto Lopez. This is a good site, by the way, called Beach in Ecuador. I can't read it. I should have made it bigger because I can't read it. Beach Life Ecuador. Beachlifeecuador.com. Beachlifeecuador.com. I should have given that to Gary early to put up. But look, remember I showed you this picture? Folks, this is where you're going to be living. Look at this. How would you like to just go at sunset? Go for a nice walk with the one you love and watch your boats out on the Pacific Ocean there. Isn't that beautiful? Or maybe you want to take a walk on the pier. Look at that. Look at that. Picture yourself strolling out on that pier of an evening, as we say. All right. Look at the boats. Folks, and these are not just recreational boats. These are fishing boats. Okay. I'm going to bring in the hall. I'll show you a picture a second of the fresh fish market. Okay, remember I mentioned that earlier. The beach. Is that copacetic or what? Is that idyllic or what? It's not a big crowded beach. It's a small village. This is a small resort village. Okay, a small, up until 10 years ago, it was strictly a fishing village, and the fishing market is still there. Every day they bring in the fresh catch, which you can buy for next to nothing, and then go cook on your grill outside. Or if you want to cook in the kitchen inside, you'll probably do it outside because you live outside in these countries, folks. You live outside in these countries. So there you have it, your $1,000 listing, Caribbean, which is absolutely gorgeous. A gorgeous town. Look it up, Puerto Lopez, okay? Just think of Trini Lopez for those my age. And the view from your front porch, okay? The view from your front porch in a gorgeous, 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 gorgeous home. Gorgeous home. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, okay? And you walk in, sit down, and relax. Even though you're probably, as I say, going to spend most of your time outside because it's lovely. All right? So there you got it. I gave you the bad news, the Mad Max one, but now I told you the good news. The good news is everything is there for you. And, you know, sometimes people say, what about my family? No, trust me. You live somewhere like that, they're going to come to visit. Matter of fact, they're probably going to end up coming to stay because that's your cost of living there. If you bring in $2,000 a month, you are going to be able to live like a king or queen in Puerto Lopez, Ecuador. Okay, I promise you that, and I promise you're gonna love every second of it. What's not to love? What's not to love? Okay. And now to encourage you to make that move. Okay. Because some people are going to tell you, you know, I face this when I remember 10, 12 years ago now when I bought my first home in Honduras. It wasn't a beachfront like that. It was at the foot of a Pico Bonito mountain. I thought it was the highest mountain in Honduras, but my good friend George, who was a neighbor there, dropped me a note after I said that on the Carib Carter social media minute. Carter, it's not the second highest, so but it is gorgeous. And I can't remember the name of the highest now, but it's gorgeous at the foot of the mountain. I bought a home, and you know, when I told people, yeah, I'm moving there, because I meant to move there and just stay. You know, I got a job thing and I had to come back here. It was politic type thing, and I really am committed to people. You know, I really am committed to helping the American people, even though now the biggest way I can help is just say, leave them to their own designs. You deserve better. That's the way we do. I feel now, but when I first met people, said to me, hey, you know, the naysayers, the doomsayers, the dream slayers, you know, I'm sure some of you, especially you offshore club members, you've said to people, hey, you know, I'm really thinking of making the move. Like Carib Carter says, it really is a great life down there. As we say in my masthead on my letters I write to you, it's better where it's wetter. And then you're only, no matter where you are in Central America, you're only 125 miles at most from the beach. And you're usually right on the beach, like at Puerto Lopez. But the naysayers always say, you're crazy, you're crazy. And I said, I don't think so. And folks, they're going to say the same to you. They're going to say the same to you. But even if they do, maybe, as you're going to see in this video right now, maybe crazy ain't so bad. Gary, let's roll it. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that incredible? You know, I'll tell you how incredible I think it is. Several years ago, I framed that statement, put it on my wall, and I read it, as I said earlier, just about every other day. Because you know what? I want you to be crazy. I want you to be crazy, because if you do, you're going to dream big and you're going to live large. Because as Steve Jobs says, in that the ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do, including you. So as I tell you every week, let's do this thing. Let's do it.